It's Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance, and we are joined by Bryan Urias. I have to embarrass him. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday.
Thanks,
I know you'll be
Brad.
seeing this after his birthday, but you know, I'm a fan, so I wish you a happy birthday. He is the Secretary Treasurer of the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District. And even though we're celebrating your birth, we are lamenting the lack of water on this day. And I want to get a sense, how is it in the San Gabriel Valley?
In the San Gabriel Valley, it's just like the rest of the state.
Right.
Most historic drought we have had in the history
Right.
of California. We've surpassed any records before. You know, even the last drought in the 70s, that was pretty
Right.
bad. Where we are today, entering the fourth year, it is a historic drought, and it's coming to just a really drastic time.
And yes,
we're seeing.
right. And what we know is the governor has gotten very serious about this. He has imposed mandatory restrictions, 25% cut based on 2013 levels.
Yes.
That's a minute ago.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge cut. How are you working with your constituents, your colleagues up and down the state to meet that goal?
We're doing a lot. The Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District has been very innovative in its approaches through recycled water,
Right.
use advanced treatment for recycled water to recharge to groundwater,
Sure.
groundwater contamination cleanup.
But you know what's interesting about your area? It's a fairly large geographic area, and you have some affluent communities and some less affluent communities. And what can happen in the affluent communities, it's not so much that they're spoiled divas, although they probably are, but they have just larger lots,
Yes.
more grass, and so their per capita use is much greater than in the less affluent areas. So how are you managing that?
Well, the most 80% of anyone's water bill
Right.
comes from outside irrigation.
Right.
So from the local, more affluent areas with huge lots to,
Right.
your small mom and pop
Sure.
little lots you may have, 80% of your water gets wasted there.
Right.
So that's the number one area where the governor wants to target and where we've been pushing.
So are you working to create rebates within your district, MWD rebates for the drought tolerant plans?
There is.
The-
There's a lot of rebates. Actually, I would recommend viewers to go to SoCalWatersmart.com.
Right, you're right.
Right there, you can find rebates. I believe it's around $2 right now
Nice.
to remove a square foot of turf.
Right.
And then there's a lot of information and rebates there to actually go and do drought tolerant planting, gardens that will drastically reduce the amount of water consumed.
You mentioned 80%. That figure is also relevant in that the state's water is used 80% by
Yes.
agriculture. And yet the governor's proposal focuses only on the 20%, which is non-ag. So we're trying to reduce 25% of 20%, which means we're only reducing 5%. So what's your sense of that?
Well, the entire state has to work together,
Right.
Including agriculture. Agriculture is part of our economy, so we have to be careful because the agricultural community in California is a large engine of our economic success.
And I get that. And for the advocates of ag, they point to the fact they're getting virtually no water from the federal irrigation project, very little water from the state water project. So they've been reduced. But that being said, we're growing almonds and alfalfa, and those are very thirsty. And so the wine grapes, marijuana even, I mean, these are all thirsty plants.
Yeah.
Do we need to look at what we're planting?
I think we could look at it. I think it's just something. The reality is, though, they're going to run out of water. So we may get to a point where they can't even plant these crops.
Right.
So everyone, from the north to the south, we have to do our part. Even agriculture does, because if we don't, we're going to run out of water. We're not going to have almonds or alfalfa or anything.
You'll come back?
I'll be back.
He is Bryan Urias, Secretary Treasurer of the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's Time Warner Cable's local edition.